Well, my viewers here onto the United Matters channel, how are you guys and where are you watching us from? This is Rokan David with the huge match preview of Manchester United versus a team known as Liverpool. This game of football is going to be happening 6 hours from the time that this live stream has gone ahead to commence. Liverpool is hosting Manchester United, a game that is highly anticipated by many and those that support clubs like Man City and Arsenal. I tell you what, most Arsenal fans are going to be rallying behind Manchester United to see to it that United closes down on a win from a side known as Liverpool, or even forcing Liverpool to a draw. Dropping 2 or 3 points will be huge news to the side of Arsenal in as far as vying for this season's trophy is really concerned. Remember, why will Arsenal celebrate either a draw or a loss of Liverpool? Arsenal have already gone ahead to go to Old Trafford to play there, and they've collected 3 points. The club of Liverpool has not gone to Old Trafford, and Man United is coming to Anfield. If what happened last season happens, you know that United went ahead to obviously hold this team to draw in there. I think it was a 2-2 draw. I don't even remember, but I think this game ended level last season. That will obviously speak volumes to the side of Arsenal and Man City altogether. Remember, if you know the Premier League table and how it's really looking, let me obviously bring you up to speed if at all you haven't. Arsenal, 8 games played, they're having 19 points. Man City, 8 games played, they're having 16 points. Liverpool, 7 games played, they're having 15 points. That is the side of Liverpool. And Bournemouth, 8 games played, they're having 15 points, meaning that if Liverpool wins today, they go to 18 points. If they draw, they go to 16 points. And if they lose, they stay at 15 points. That's why this game of football has united Arsenal, Man City fans in this particular aspect of, like, even Chelsea fans, because they're like, if they lose, then we will be 1 point behind them, because Chelsea went ahead to beat Nottingham yesterday by 3-0, and they added more 3 points after beating them before we went into the international break. That is at the start of this particular month in there. So the side of Man United is going to be having overwhelming support from all over the world. And all people are going to be looking at Manchester United and waiting to see what they can do in this particular occasion. Pikisa Habat, how are you? And hope you're really having fun wherever you are. So at this juncture, I want to let you know that the club of Manchester United is really having some good news, and Mazaraoui returned in training, but he might not be able to start or really be part of the squad. Then Lisandro Martinez is another one who has returned in training with the club of Manchester United, but I don't think that he'll be ready for picks for this particular fixture in there. Now, when we go to the other team news in there, we are being to Amorim, allayed fears over Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Amad Diallo and Matthias Cunha after a quartet missed. After that, that quadruple went ahead to miss out training on Thursday, though all we are simply being given more time to recuperate from international exploits and are available for the weekend. So there were fears that Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Amad Diallo, and Matthias Cunha never took part in the training session of Manchester United, but we've been told that was really done because the manager was obviously trying to see them rest, as he knows their role into this rivalry that is going to be this rival match that's going to be played today at Anfield in there. So that's why the manager did it. But on Friday and Saturday, these 4 went ahead to train, and all was in there as planned. United doesn't have very many injuries. By the way, most of the players are readily available, and we wait to see how things really pan out. Now, Liverpool had 2 injury scares, that is Ryan Gravenberch and Ibrahim Konate, but There is news coming in through from reliable sources of Anfield that the players or that duo will be good to go for that particular fixture of Manchester United versus Liverpool that's going to be played today. So don't really feel like you are really very worried about this. The club is really having this duo back. But Alisson Becker is not going to show up, you know. There is this other Giovanni Leone is also out. Wataru Endo, you know, is one of those that will need to pass what we call a late fitness test in there for you. But obviously, we are waiting to see how this game will obviously be really taken seriously. For Ruben Amorim, he knows exactly why he needs this win. Why does he need this win? One, he needs this win because if he loses, we will obviously get back to those stories of whether he's the right manager for the club of Manchester United. But all I want to let people know is that games like these don't lead to the sacking of the manager of Manchester United. That is it. They don't. Which games lead to the sacking of a United manager? The next games that you're going to be playing as a club of Manchester United. And I want to let you know that fixtures of teams like Brighton, Nottingham, because those are our next two games to play after Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspur can lead to the sacking of the manager. That is it. So Liverpool, Brighton, Nottingham, and Tottenham. Those next three games will determine the future of Ruben Amorim. And however much the boss said that he is unsackable and is willing to give him a full season, I want to remind you that those are the same words he said when when he was yet to sack Erik ten Hag. You remember that very well? So don't come out and obviously take his word serious. They can sack Ruben Amorim, because if the performances don't really whiten up, there is no reason as to why they'll keep him here. You know, Nachitende Esther, thank you for joining in, and let's see how this lineup of Man United will obviously look like, because we almost have a fully fit squad in there. So United comes up to represent with a system of 4-3-4-2-1. That's Man United for you, and that's how they're going to represent. They're going to be representing today. You understand? That's how they are going to be representing today. So Man United saw Seny Lamens make his debut at Old Trafford, and Seny Lamens is going to be getting what we call the hugest test of his life. If you've been following up games of Liverpool versus Manchester United, you know how intense they are and how Liverpool opens up different teams while playing at Anfield. You understand? And they will open up and they will come in through all attacking to obviously penetrate and really create very many chances to City either obviously get the goal. Liverpool comes into this game of football knowing that Arsenal is going to hit to obviously win the game of football, and Arsenal is 4 points ahead of them. And if they sleep, against Manchester United, Arsenal will have either a 4-point lead or a 3-point lead. So they want to do the needful, because their next fixtures, they have Brentford, Aston Villa, and Man City. Arsenal has Burnley, Crystal Palace, and Sunderland. And Arsenal can win all those. And I told you that in these 4 fixtures before we get back into the international break, Arsenal can find themselves in a position of really collecting maximum points. And when I talk about maximum points, what do I mean? 12 out of 12 points. You get me? 12 out of 12 points. Arsenal has all what it takes to obviously collect all those and put them in there. So Seny Lamens has to play a very big part into this. So the club of Manchester United has a lot to do, today. And Seny Lamens is one of those who is going to be having a very busy day in office. You understand? He's going to be having a very, very busy day in office. And that makes him to face the biggest test of his football career at Manchester United. Remember, when he came in through after the international break, he never got himself into the stitches as we went ahead to lose to Man City by 3-0. Against Chelsea, he never represented. And there is another fixture. Which team did we play again? The manager never really brought him in. And he made his debut when you're playing against Sunderland. And he kept a clean sheet. That is it. And we don't know whether he can keep a clean sheet today at Anfield. But all in all, I see him as being an integral part or player in there. And this is when you're going to test his, 1, shot-stopping skills, right? 2, his ball distribution, his aura and demeanor in goal. Is he a composed goalkeeper? How does he act under pressure? Today is the day we see Seny Lamens do that. This is a big game. We know the crowd at Anfield. It will be doing all what it has to do to threaten the Manchester United people in there for you. So, as it stands, it's really going to be a hard one, I tell you, right? It's really going to be a hard one. So, that's all about Seny Lamens in goal. So, after Seny Lamens, we obviously going to be having another guy called, we're going to be talking about the back three. Now, on the right of the three-man central defense, I'll go with Leny Yoro. He played for France and he's really an elite defender. I tell you, he's exceptional in every aspect. And in games like this, you'll need Leny Yoro a lot because of his pace. Liverpool has one of the fastest forwards that you'll ever talk about. Alexandra Isak, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, Ekitike, talk about Florian Wirtz, and very many others. Liverpool has very fast players, and in transition, they're really the baddest in the attacks. You can give them their praise because they really deserve it. So, when you look at Leny Yoro, I know he'll play a very huge role into that defense. On the left side of the three-man central defense, I talk about Luke Shaw, who has surprised me, Luke Shaw, ever since the season started, ever since the preseason, he hasn't gotten an injury. And these are questions that we always pose as the people at Manchester United, that why is it that when it comes to the season where there is the World Cup Euros, Luke Shaw always keeps fit? Is it because that we are playing one game per week? But we all know to it that there are seasons where he could play one game in the weekend, midweek, they field maybe another player, and he even goes ahead, obviously, get injured. But this time round, he's being managed better. Is it because of the newly improved facilities at Manchester United, at Carrington, that these players are not really getting injured, and they are really doing the needful to see to it that they keep themselves fit, as we really want to see them prosper? You understand? So I'm here waiting to see what your thoughts are about it. But I want to confirm to you that Luke Shaw will do a very huge job into that central defense today. Then at the center, no doubt, Matthias de Ligt, very fresh, not part of the international duty. He comes in through to obviously command that central defense. And I've seen people who don't know football coming out and criticize this lad that he's not that good. He's not worth to be the defender that you people really are really talking about. And I'm like, do you people know what the game of football is all about? You understand? Because for the years I've gone ahead to watch football, it's rare to find a complete defender like Matthias de Ligt. Good on the ball. His physicality is unquestioned. You cannot bully him. He's good at game reading. Very fast, Aerial duels, good. Grand duels, good, And he can obviously spare some time and obviously go ahead and obviously score, He has that long range pass, to the out wide areas of the pitch. That is Matthias de Ligt for you. You understand? So, That is Matthias De Ligt for you. He's going to be the man responsible for commanding that back three to combat that side of to combat that side of Liverpool. As we know, Liverpool have Salah, Isak, and Cody Gakpo. Others are saying Ekitike will start off the left, but I'm really thinking that you need an Ekitike off the bench to come up and really change the game. But you can't obviously throw all your guns onto the pitch at once. So that is my back three for the club of Manchester United. And I think we will obviously stand like that. Because Mazarawi is a doubt. Because if Mazarawi was here, then we would have gone to be having a debate. For Harry Maguire, there is no way he makes any... there is no way he makes... he finds himself in my team here, guys. I'm sorry to say. But let's go to the right wing back. Amadi Diallo is available. Mazarawi is a doubt. Diogo Dalot is there. And in a game like this, you can't really open up hugely. And you go a player known as Diogo Dalot as the right wing back. And for Diogo Dalot, he has done all what he needs to do. And I think people just find excuses, you know. They find it easy to use him as a scapegoat. But I'm not that kind of person who will come out and really let you know that and really agree with people who say Dalot is not good. Dalot has been one of the best right backs in the league. That's why teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City have been really vying for his signature because of how good he is. So, all you have to do as a club of Manchester United is to see this team being consistent. You understand? And we need to be having at least 9 of our starting players known. And that's what I really want to see from the manager. So Diogo Dalot, to me, will obviously be played as a right wing back. Left wing back, Patrick Dogu. I feel him there. Why do I really? Because I know we are not going to be on the side that is going to be having that ball a lot. That is it. We are not going to be that side. That is it. But all I can guarantee you is simple. The club of Manchester United would need a player like Dogu. One, his energy. I've seen Nachitende Esther saying Dogu should be on the bench today. I think you start him and see what the team, what Liverpool really brings you, and you really get him. You really get him off depending on the game situation. That is it. But Patrick Dogu obviously will do the needful, and he'll have a very huge role to track and defend Mohamed Salah, because Salah is going to be really navigating that side where he's going to be playing hugely. In the midfield, obviously, Casemiro comes in through to obviously play into that double pivot alongside Bruno Fernandes. You know my stance over this. If I really had the power, I wouldn't have gone ahead to guarantee this to happen. You know, Casemiro, Mainu, all Casemiro, Ugarte, all Ugarte, Kobe Mainu. That is it. You know, if I really had the powers, but the power is not invested in me. But I know the manager will do Bruno Fernandes and Carlos Casemiro into that double pivot. Obviously, take on Gravenberch and McAllister in there. So, the two number 10s. The left number 10, I know it's going to be Matthias Cunha. And the right number 10 is going to be a player called Mbeumo. But for Matthias Cunha, it might change a little bit. The manager might side with a player called Mason Mount because of how he delivered when you're playing against Sunderland. He presses really very well, and his energy levels are really huge. You understand? But whoever comes in through all stats will be waiting to see how the delivery is. Whoever starts or comes off the bench, I know he'll serve the purpose of the day. Then we go to who lead the line, no doubt. It's going to be a Benjamin Šeško for the club of Manchester United. So that is my probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. That's what I'm seeing in here. And That's what I think the manager will obviously come up with. Now, let's go to the lineup of Liverpool. Probable. Mamadashvili in goal. Sobaslai, right back. Kokezi, left back. Konate and Virgil van Dijk, central defense. Now, midfield. Gravenberch, Jones, and Florian Wirtz in there. Then Hugo Ekitike, Cody Gakpo, and Mohamed Salah anticipated to obviously come up and lead the line. So, when you look at that, I fear a little bit for the club of Manchester United, but I really believe that apart from that double pivot, we can really challenge Liverpool. And if we had another midfielder that could come in through and partner Casemiro, would have gone ahead to obviously cause havoc to that side of Liverpool, because I know they are really beatable. Liverpool concedes goals. That's the most important bit of it all. When you look at the Premier League table, they've gone ahead to concede 9. So Liverpool is a goal conceding team. And if Man United can compose itself and really builds up its attacks better and be clinical, Liverpool can be put to a conceding. You understand? Liverpool can concede goals. Head-to-head stats. Liverpool have lost just one of their last 14 Premier League meetings with Manchester United. 7 wins, 6 draws, a 1-2 defeat at Old Trafford in August 2022. Indeed, since the start of 2019, this is the fewest defeats any side to face the Red Devils 3 times plus times in competition has had against them. So we last beat Liverpool in the Premier League when Erik ten Hag was here. That was the 3rd game of Erik ten Hag. And we had lost the first 2 games. Brighton at Old Trafford 2-1, 4-0 against Brentford. And then Man United came up and obviously had to beat Liverpool by 2-1. I remember who scored. It was Jadon Sancho, beautiful goal in the first half. Then Marcus Rashford came up and obviously got released by Anton Martial, and Rashford went ahead to score and made it 2-0. And then obviously Mohamed Salah pulled one back, but it couldn't really save them. So ever since 2022, we haven't gone ahead to beat Liverpool. Manchester United are winless in their last 9 Premier League games at Anfield since a 1-0 win in January 2016 under Louis van Gaal. 5 draws and 4 losses. Liverpool could become just the second side to avoid defeat in 10 successful Premier League home games against the Red Devils, after Chelsea 10 from August 2002 to Feb 2012. So that's another record already there. Manchester United won away to the reigning Premier League table holders Man City 2-1 last season, but haven't beaten the defending English champions away from home in back-to-back league seasons since 1906 to 1907 Liverpool and 1907 to 1908 Newcastle. Indeed, Ruben Amorim could become only the 3rd manager to win both of their first 2 Premier League games away at the reigning champions after Manuel Pellegrini and Antonio Conte. So, we beat Man City last season and they are the reigning champions of the league. And if this happens, we could become the first side to see to it that we put in a shift of really beating 2 reigning champions in a row. You understand? Then Liverpool have lost both of their last 2 Premier League games after winning their first 5 of the season beforehand. It wasn't until their 31st league match of the last season that they suffered their second defeat. The Reds could lose 3 consecutive Premier League games for the first time since 2021. So Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace, lost to Chelsea, and went to the international break. If they lose today, they would have gone ahead to lose 3 consecutive Premier League games. Now, lastly, Man United are winless in their last 8 Premier League away games, 2 draws and 6 losses since beating Leicester City 3-0 in March. The Red Devils last went longer without a league win on the road in September 1989 under Sir Alex Ferguson. It was 11. So we are now having 8 games and we haven't gone ahead to obviously register and win. That is the worrying bit of it all. But we wait and see how United will surprise us today. Now, my prediction, 50% Liverpool win, 30% a draw, and 20% a United win. But all in all, United can shock Liverpool today, but there are lots of things we need to do right. But with that midfield, I don't think that we can obviously come and really stop Liverpool at Anfield. I know it's going to be really a hard game, 2-1 win Liverpool, finally. Let me 2-1 win for the club of Liverpool. Picasa Herbert, hello Mr. Aradi, good afternoon. Whatever team who win today between Liverpool and Manchester United will be honor of the late Baba Raila Odinga. Yeah, Raila Odinga will be laid to rest today. Dogu should be on the bench today. Yes, that's Nachitende, but he's into my probable starting 11. Vijira Prita, Manchester United need to be mentally strong. Yeah, that is it. Agaba William, are we winning? I don't really see our win. I'm sorry. I think the best we can get is a draw at Liverpool. If it's a win, it's going to Liverpool. That is it. A draw, 2-2 draw is really possible. 1-1 draw is really possible. Agaba William, Devi, who gonna start between Cunha and Mason Mount? I've gone ahead to choose Cunha, but I know even Mason Mount can obviously come in through and start ahead of him. London Banda, this game is the best game for Lamens. Yeah, big test. It's the litmus test for him that will see whether he's ready for the big job. And whatever happens to him in goal, I don't want to see anyone criticizing him. I hate it when I see people criticizing people in their first season. A player needs 2 seasons to settle in, And for everyone who comes out and criticizes a player in his first season, I'm like, what are you talking about? Old Port Charles, the best Manchester United can get is a draw. Getting a win at Anfield is always a problem to Manchester United. Even during glory days, Man United defenders should not forget Mohamed Salah. Obviously, we shouldn't forget Mohamed Salah. That is it. Mohamed Salah is a danger man. And if you really let him act as he's supposed to act, he can haunt you in every aspect of the game. So you can't come out and obviously let him to loiter like that, as he'll come up and obviously really destroy you. That is Mohamed Salah for you. So he hasn't been at his best this season, but he's a big game player. For all the seasons has been here, he has been known as a big game player. That is Mohamed Salah for you. That's what I know about him. Big game player, and he has gone ahead to score very many goals against Manchester United. For that, he is really one of those players that has gone ahead to score very many goals against Manchester United. I don't think that is there. Him and Erling Haaland, I think, are competing for that. And he wants to obviously show us how they've gone ahead to be doing it all the time. You understand? Bijira Prita, I would play Luke Shaw as a left wing back, which means Yoro, Mazaraoui, and Delete as centre backs. I would also really try to see that happen, but I think that is more likely to happen if Lisandro Martinez gets back. When you look at how Luke Shaw is looking good, there is no way you get him out of the team, and there is no way you don't start Lisandro Martinez. So, Lisandro Martinez, when he returns, I think for that we'll see Luke Shaw being played as we are most likely to see Luke Shaw being played as a left wing back. And we know his delivery is well going forward, perfect cross, and he inverts well in the midfield. Obviously, he can also really score, as he really has some good shots. And playing him in the central defense is good, but not the best option for him, because we know what he is good at as a player. That is Luke Shaw in there. So we wait and see how that will happen. But I know that will only happen when Lisandro Martinez really gets back. Pekisa Herbert, I'm seeing a win today over this side. All right? Everyone is entitled to his opinion, but for me, I don't see a United win. The best result I see for Man United is a draw and a win. If it's a win, I see it going to the side of Liverpool. I don't see Man United going ahead to obviously do the needful and obviously get 3 points from Anfield, But never say never in football. Anything can happen. So a win can really go to the side of Manchester United to see us, Man City fans jubilate and Chelsea. Pikisa Herbert, Benjamin Sesko is on target today. By the way, Benjamin Sesko scored against, went ahead to score against, Sesko went ahead to score. What is that game that we drew away? I think he has been really on fire. If you look at Manchester United, There is a game we played before we obviously came to play Sunderland. It was a game against Brentford, and he scored in the 26th minute. You know, he pulled one back when it was 2-0. Then he scored against Sunderland, meaning that he has been scoring in in his recent 2 games for the club of Manchester United. He has scored in every game. So you can't really say Piqué Sahabat is lying when the player is on such a run. So wait and see whether he can extend his goal scoring stretch to 3 or 4, depending on how many he can score today. But all I know is that confidence is building up, and there is nothing that can really charge up a player like scoring against Liverpool at Anfield. Is that a long time already? I missed the channel a lot. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. So that is your prediction. So for everyone who has been part of this channel, thank you for obviously watching in through. We obviously going to be coming here to really bring you the match day live and then the match reaction. 6 hours from now, the game of football will be happening. And I won't forsake you. I'll bring you with the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned in this particular fixture. Thank you very much for watching through. Rock and David is my name. It has been nice having you in here. And I hope that I really come back very soon to obviously talk to you.